a simple man, keeping the peace. Beat, 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 kill, kill, kill. Stomp and rock till they lose their will. Shoot first and ask questions later. A gun is the greatest negotiator. All these degenerate hippie freaks start marching and spreading their pico propaganda on the streets. So beat, 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 kill, kill, kill. Stomp and rock till they lose their will. Shoot first and ask questions later. A gun is the greatest negotiator. Beat, 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 kill, kill, kill. Stomp and rock till they lose their will. Shoot first and ask questions later. A gun is the greatest negotiator. Beat, 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 kill, kill, kill. Stomp and rock till they lose their will. Beat, beat, beat,
jam. You know what I'm saying?
Stomp and rock till they lose their will. Beat, 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 kill, kill, kill. Stomp and rock till they lose their will. Beat, beat, beat.
Can y'all hear me? This dude is negative XP. Dude's got another song called MK Ultra Victim. I'll blast that while I get ready here. Yeah, lyrics and shit. Maybe there's a... Oh, this song is a jam too. Talks about MK Ultra a lot, this dude.
I like music to keep me company. I like songs with a sweet melody. When I get bored, I turn on the TV, or I hold my phone and I stare at the screen. I like noise to keep me company. I like static electricity. When I get bored or don't have energy, I like to hold my phone and stare at the screen. I like music to keep me company. I like songs with an artistic streak. I watch the news on the TV so I can stay informed about the enemy. I like to daydream about the bourgeoisie. I like to eat from the apple tree. When I get bored or don't have energy, I like to hold my phone and stare at the screen. Because it helps me feel alright. Because it helps me humanize. I like music to keep me company. I like songs with a sweet melody. When I feel alone, nobody's watching me. I power up my computer screen. I like Big Brother to keep me company. I like static electricity. I like Hollywood and the Illuminati. I like to hold my phone and stare at the screen. Because it helps me feel alright. Because it helps me dehumanize. Dehumanize. Dehumanize.
Yeah.
And the truth getting crucified. And a violent mob without humanity. High on drugs watching reality TV. They're bored and numb. They're tired and hungry. Listening to the song for company. Conceited with low self-esteem. She's a teenage dream if you hate yourself. Right dyed hair and obnoxious clothes, thinks communism is the way to go. She's a whore, a hole, a dime a dozen Jezebel. Low right mind and SSR eyes, 1,000 yard stare for all those guys that she fucked and sucked before you came along. Retarded views on politics, likes to listen to shitty music. She drinks and smokes and toasts out of a dirty bong. She saw Ramona Flowers and felt so empowered by a movie made in Hollywood. It's sad to think she's someone's daughter, like a lamb to the slaughter. But honestly, I'd still hit if I could. BPD and ecstasy, 30 years old but acts like she's 16. Likes to go to shows cause she's so fucking cool. Bright-eyed haired but dead inside, Plan B lifetime supply. She's a whore, a hole, gave head since middle school. Only pedophiles in denial, think she's anything worthwhile. Her fertile lifestyle will drive you wild. She's an alcoholic loser bitch that likes to listen to shitty music. She drinks and smokes and cokes and chokes on dick. She saw Ramona Flowers and felt so empowered by a movie made in Hollywood. It's sad to think she's someone's daughter, like a lamb to the slaughter. But honestly, I'd still hit if I could. She saw Ramona Flowers and felt so empowered by a movie made in Hollywood. It's sad to think she's someone's daughter, like a lamb to the...
Alright, so here we go. Welcome to Duerstream, what is it, number 5? We're going to talk about yet another slice of the internet going the fuck away. I don't know, some of you might be aware of this. I guess it's like kind of edgy, edgelord Reddit, they could call it, or like right-wing Reddit. Voat.co. I posted some of my stuff on there for years, actually. I mean, even when I consider myself left-wing, like 5 or so years ago, I posted stuff on there all the time. But yeah, apparently they're biting the big one. They're shutting down on Christmas, like, so in a few days here. This might be a little bit of a biased article that we're going over here. It's Voat, an anti-censorship alternative social network that's been described as the alt-right Reddit on New York Mag. Yeah. Alt-right Reddit circling the drain. Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be biased at all. It's got to be shut down on December 25th. Voat co-founder Justin Chastain announced the pending closure yesterday. I actually think I'd probably rather hear it from him. Yeah. I can't keep it up, he says. It's embarrassing, but it's true. I just can't keep it up. I've tried meditation, prayer, reaching out for help. Solutions worked for a while, but nothing has remedied the underlying issue. No matter what I do, I simply just can't keep it up. I expect most will be disappointed and let down, while others will just point and laugh. So be it. It's a problem every man like me will face at some point. Yeah, I mean, biggest bundle of laughs ever. I mean, the cucks and leftists are saying, oh, this was just a place for evil, racist, alt-right Nazis to run away from Reddit when they wouldn't stand for their inaccuracies anymore. That's basically, that's the spiel we're getting. Yeah. I know I'm going to get 100 PMs from all of Voat's hottest girls. What, talking about hot girls? Interesting. Because from what I'm hearing, it's a bunch of fucking neckbeards in their mom's basement. Interesting. So this dude seems like he's got a pretty optimistic perspective in spite of, because we all know what's going to happen. I mean, Telegram's probably coming next. Well, one of the alt tech platforms are probably coming next, like Telegram, BitChute, maybe DLive. Once the payment processors get targeted by the banks and all that, it's probably going to be finito. You know what I mean? Dude saying, instead of feeling pity or vengeful, I'm instead going to celebrate the fact that Voat stayed up for so long. In my opinion, Voat is and will always be the biggest dysfunctional family on the internet. Hell yeah, dude. It was like hardcore right-wing Reddit, but like what we're basically accepting is that there's something wrong with that, I guess. I don't know. It's just, did a payment processor basically just come out from behind them or come out from under them and they just threw in the towel? Decided to run out of money after an investor defaulted on their contract in March. Yeah, he's been paying all of his costs out of pocket. Prayers, meditation don't really cut it. There will be an alt-right internet. Interesting. Well, I mean, I thought the concept of the alt-right was sort of fizzled out for a few years ago. You know what I mean? That alt-right was more or less, I mean, it's something that Richard Spencer created, right? But like, for the most part, it became just a pejorative that leftists threw at people, and then they kind of like rebranded it. Maybe they rebranded it to like America First or something like that, or the Groyper thing. That might be a rebrand of sorts. But see what the Voyage has to say. Voat was founded in 2014 and hosted Reddit-like forums with minimal moderation. It grew rapidly after Reddit added an anti-harassment policy and banned 5 subreddits that it said violated the rules, including its infamous Fat People Hate forum. Which, yeah, this stuff moved over to Voat for sure. That was a brutal one. And I think that moved over to Telegram as well. So pretty much, yeah, everybody who was on Reddit a few years ago doing that, who moved over to Voat, is now probably going to move over to... They probably already are on Telegram, now that I think about it. The site set a model for other censorship-free alternatives. Why do they keep putting that in quotes? You notice this? Whoa. They keep putting this in quotes, censorship-free. They do it at the beginning as well. Anti-censorship. I guess it's like... It's like, it's a bunch of like freeze peach assholes, the people that don't really... They're leftists, so they have a bunch of like, acceptable opinions, so they're not fearing censorship in the way that other people are. So the idea of defending free speech is like, you must be a Nazi, or something, they have this completely skewed perspective, and they're just fucking compulsive fucking liars. While these sites often don't take an explicit political stance, they've attracted a largely far-right user base that's incensed by bigger networks' crackdowns. Voat also provided a home for the QAnon conspiracy movement, which is gay, after it was purged from most other platforms. However, Voat faced chronic funding and technical problems, as well as denial of service attacks and an apparent warning from law enforcement. What's that? Were there a lot of people Fed posting? Because they're not shut down yet, but they might be still having issues loading. Threats made on the site. Okay, yeah. Voat was likely to shut down. So, yeah, like 3 to 5 years ago, there's been like multiple incidences of them coming close to shutting down, I think. A year later, he announced a partnership with an unnamed investor. Can I load these Voat threads? I can load everything else. Their site might actually be having problems. Yeah, Spency boy is not... You don't want to rally around a guy like Richard Spencer. He's pretty... I don't know, he's got like a slithery vibe that I don't like. Slytherin, Draco Malfoy kind of vibe. Yeah. Oh, they're going to name drop some of the other ones. Other alternative social networks have struggled to gain traction as well. Gab migrated to decentralized Mastodon after... They're going to name the ones that they want banned next. See this? Gab is probably going to be next. Just watch. We're predicting it now. Voat's death has been announced before, and it's possible the site will pull through again, but its demise looks much more likely this time around. Right, yeah, we already went over his positive attitude. Some users speculated that the site had been a sting operation secretly funded by intelligence agencies. Wow, that is a hot take, I guess. Chastain added an addendum. You guys crack me up. Even now, you accuse me of being Mossad or a honeypot. Yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, wow, look at that. Can you not even load Voat? Yeah, he's going to lay Voat upon the cross on Christmas at noon Pacific Standard. Chosen Christmas as the day to do so in honor of the only true thing, true in caps, you will find in this world, and that is Jesus Christ, the Son of God, and the only way to the Father. I chose 12 noon in honor of the 12 disciples, wow, who spread the message of salvation to the world. In this way, my hope is that perhaps 12 people will carry the cross for freedom of speech and sacrifice part of their lives for an ideal in the way I did, but hopefully with much more success, glory, and reward. Dude, he might be talking about January 6th, for all the fuck I know, in DC. Is anybody going there? I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna go to that. I might stream about it, though. But yeah, people losing their lives, sacrificing part of their lives. You know, people are gonna get maimed, dude, before the end of this. Not just, like, physically. People are gonna get, like, financially and socially maimed. What do these wankers here have to say? Okay, yeah, some base takes. Voat announces they're shutting down. Yeah, the internet gets smaller by the day. Yeah, you're gonna find. I mean, dude, we're really rapidly approaching a reality where most people think that there's like infinite genders and that black people are being like systematically hunted by white supremacist Terminator, Turbo, RoboCops. You know, and that that women are being oppressed or suppressed by the government or capitalism or what have you more so than anybody else. Or you know, that drag queen story hour is like a benign or good thing. We're approaching a reality or a milieu where most people are going to be thinking like that. Most people won't know reality where it's like they won't be able to find alternatives on the internet where people are like, I'm not crazy for thinking this is crazy, right? So it's pretty fucking blackpilling, I gotta say. They're already beta testing the AI. Yeah, dude. Echo chambers are kind of weird. That might be where people like QAnon actually cultivate like wackos like that. You know? This is a hot take. Tumblr was so flooded with child porn, Apple banned its app from the store. Facebook streams mass shootings and the occasional live torture year after year. And yet both chug along happily because they're in the club. Approved and financially supported by MasterCard. Yeah, and also he forgets to mention, you know, all those creepy porn sites that have like, what is it, either revenge porn or kid porn or like rapes and stuff like that. Creepy shit like that remains up forever. You know. That's fucking evil right there. I wonder who's allowing all of this inconsistency. You know, moral inconsistency. Early days Voat had some useful content, decent community that was trying to get the ball rolling. It never got quite there. It was there for me, dude. It was definitely there to promulgate ideas that were outside the mainstream that other places would not allow, but I guess, shit, it's just becoming too much of a fucking hassle to even do a quasi-edgy YouTube channel, you know, with like a moderate audience. You'll get just struck down. Like, I bet you so many people that otherwise would have started channels are getting so fucking, you know, they're getting fucking persuaded otherwise, just knowing what it's like. Try to be active in a few channels on Voat. We had a very small active base. Yeah. It attracted a lot of undesirables. What is that? Does he mean people who say 1350 all day and he can't handle? Some people are kind of bitches, dude. Voat was blacklisted. Several payment processors just can't pull this kind of shit. Interesting. It's like Pol and X got together and had a child who thought most of what was said by the two parents wasn't a big joke and took everything seriously. Voat quickly got taken over by legitimately awful people. Let it be an example of them gathering somewhere else instead of eliminating them with sunlight. I looked in there years ago and it was nothing but fat people hate on the front page. Like, what's so bad? I mean, listen. I mean, what? You're just saying that they're mean and and that's it. You know, who gives a fuck? Wasn't like the very beginning of the internet even meaner? Like, it was just pretty much all for that, ripping on each other and whatever. It's fucking, you know. Wait, archiving currently broken. Yeah, oh, that's a good point, dude. You gotta archive more of these links. I actually forgot to. When I was using this Verge link, you have to... You got to start archiving the links so that you can avoid giving them revenue and traffic. Six Hexenhammer talks about that a lot. Is there an alternative to set it? What is set it? Is he misspelling that? Or is there a set it? It was a Microsoft cesspool and still is. Yeah. Paladins, dude. Lawful good, man. We can't have lawful good paladins in the mix. But, Erica the Paladin is conflicted. On one hand, Voat was a lot of hot garbage. I didn't visit it much, but from what I had seen, it wasn't of much value. What is the hot garbage? Like I said in another stream, these leftists don't like to really go into much detail. You know, they don't... They're not gonna tell you what the hot garbage is, but what I'm assuming it is simply like, oh, they said 1350, and they said oy vey once, and they said 1350, and is that the hot garbage? They showed like an FBI crime stat bar graph, which, by the way, I think it might be actually a good idea if people posted those all over their towns. Just take like any old edgy like crime stat bar graph you've seen and just like paste it up in a college campus somewhere, like on a corkboard. I don't know, I find that very... If you want to stay honk-pilled, those are the kinds of things that you can engage... that's the kind of activity that you can engage in. It's not like it's actually going to fucking do anything, but you can know that someone is getting, like, triggered somewhere, seeing, like, hashtag facts and logic. Anyway. Won't be missed, honestly. Why not? Why the fuck not? Bad ideas don't just disappear because a website is shut down. I also don't like how the internet increasingly depends on a few big sites. Okay. But it gets harder to run your own thing because of the costs. It's conflict. Okay, yeah, so a lot of these lefties are kind of quasi-realizing that they do the bidding of a lot of these big tech moguls, right? They shut down the littler guy. They advocate for shutting down the littler guys just because they have a fucking stick up their ass about edgy 1350 statistics and memes. Like, what the fuck is that, dude? What the fuck is that? I mean, it's kind of beta! At the end of the day. Wait. Ah. Tried to load up the, I tried to load up Voat itself, but it was having issues like this. What is going on here? Is it already fucked up? Oh. There's been... Okay, yeah, this is older stuff about, like, Fed posting. Fed posting, yeah, you'll get that. But I'm assuming that you'd get a decent amount on places like Voat, Telegram, that sort of thing. There's been an increasing number of content that is bordering or crossing the lines concerning making, quote, threats, so much so that we've been formally contacted regarding... Wow, yeah, this is a legal issue from a while ago. Deal with the issue, and if your content is in the gray area, we're going to remove it upon request. cooperate with law enforcement. You know, okay, this is just standard, like, safety, you know, whatever shit. I think that the leftist media is going to try to use that sort of thing to, oh, yeah, well, see, they've made an effort to weed out extremists and threats, so therefore that's like, you know what I mean? Excuse me. They'll try to characterize it as if that is what it is entirely. Just Fed post fest. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see. Wait a minute. Oh, this is about the funding about 2 years ago. So funding is just not an issue anymore, or it's too much of an issue for them. They're not able to fucking square it away. Voat was found. Yeah, this is from Hacker News here, talking about Voat shutting down about a day ago. Voat was founded as a neutral free speech platform after alt-right extremists. I can't believe anybody still uses that terminology. Like alt-right. That's like very, very old. Very, very old. And when it wasn't old, it was, it was fake. It was just like a way to, it was like, what's that called? Like either gatekeeping or, I can't fucking think. Controlled opposition, you know. Spencer probably was controlled opposition of some sort, dude. You know? And so it's just very fake, very gay. But alt-right extremists were booted off Reddit. They found a new home there. The site was bombarded by Pol Chan culture, and after that, nobody else of other political persuasions really wanted to join. Kind of like that paradox of intolerance meme. Free speech platforms usually end up becoming extremist platforms. Maybe it's just what you perceive as extremist because you're like a shit lib, like soy latte swilling soy boy, you know? It's just a matter of intellectual honesty. I mean, to these people, like what? Extreme is just not liking the releasing of criminals, you know? Like, extreme is saying, like, yeah, well, Kyle Rittenhouse had the right to defend himself. That's extreme to these people. Founded as a neutral free speech platform, alt-right extremists were booted off Reddit. Wait, fucking retarded. Yeah, he's saying that in the earlier days, Reddit never had alt-right guys there. Did it? What do you guys think? I never actually was involved in any sort of Chan or Reddit culture. I only ever actually, like, looked at that stuff within the past few years and started posting my own stuff there, and that was really my only, full exposure to the culture, and it's very recent, and it's within, again, yeah, like, all these platforms getting banned, so it's a little weird. I also... Yeah, I just wanted to kind of highlight this for a while and just, we can back up all of our stuff on alt tech, and I would encourage anybody watching to look at my links in the description and follow me on alt tech. I'm also simulcasting to DLive right now, and I think Twitch probably, if they allow me on there anymore. But yeah, follow me on all that stuff. Follow me on Telegram, BitChute, all that crap. But also be aware of the fact that stuff might get taken down because, if right-wing Fed posting Reddit effectively can't exist, Telegram probably can't exist for much longer. Could be, a glass half empty perspective or cynical, but it also could just be realistic. So you never know. I found a really fucking cringy music video from some local... yeah, it was this. I wanted to watch this with you guys and like cringe about this.
They say the way through is the way out. They don't want us to.
Whoa! This is some cringy local. This is some cringy local Hangs content. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it, and it's from this guy. I've had some run-ins with this dude before. You can look at the videos that I took from Menominee Falls several months ago. Yeah, that was a run-in with corporate media, with WISN, but I don't want to get into that right now. Whoops. But anyway.
They say the way through is the way out. They don't want us to weigh in just to stay out. A closed mouth is a silent shout, but they can't hear me if I shut my mouth. If I speak up, it's too loud. I guess I'm too black and too proud.
I'll say. What is this gibberish? I don't understand, man. Fire officer. Covering up the...
Or maybe just a shade too dark.
Fire Chief Weber, Fire Officer Mensa. Let me look up. Fire Mensa. Is that the Wauwatosa guy? That like shot... he shot like 3 people in self... Yeah, like, I mean, it was in self-defense, I think. And they had, like, BLM invaded his home and, like...
Community groups in Wauwatosa continue to call for the firing of Officer Joseph Mensa. But question is, who has the power to do it? Fox 6's Cassidy Williams spent the day digging and fact-checking claims made by the family's attorney. She joins us live outside of City Hall now with more. Cassidy, good evening.
Good evening. During a press conference here outside of City Hall yesterday, a claim was made that Police Chief Barry Weber could fire Officer Mensa if he wanted to. The attorney for the family says she had a transcript to prove it, so we got our hands on a copy to see if that's true.
These documents, they don't belong to me. These documents belong to the public.
This binder includes all the documents that led an independent investigator to conclude Officer Joseph Mensa should be fired. The reasons cited: Mensa violated policy by speaking to the media, and the risk of a 4th shooting to the community is too high. In mid-October, Police Chief Barry Weber publicly disagreed.
There's been no reason up to this point, and none that I can see, that he should be removed from the force.
Before making that statement, Weber did an interview with the investigator. The transcript is in the binder. Attorney Kimberly Motley let us make a copy to read it for ourselves. In the transcript, Chief Weber does admit that under a, quote, normal setting, Mensa probably violated policies by talking publicly about the district attorney's case. But Weber goes on to say the situation was not normal because Mensa was suspended, saying, quote, I don't think I have as much control over him because we take his badge and gun away. Weber was then asked to clarify if officers are allowed to violate policies when suspended and said, quote, no, they are not free to violate policies. That's why Motley believes Weber could do more.
So what's the point of having a policy in your police department if your officers don't have to follow it? Chief Weber could fire him today if he wanted to.
In the majority of the 100-plus pages of transcript, Weber defends Mensa's actions. However, he does say he has concerns about him returning to the force, saying, quote, I think for his own safety, if it was me, I would not want to return because, as I said, people are going to set him up.
Man, well, what about the black man being set up? I believe it's actually a black cop, too. But yeah, Wauwatosa continue call for... I know I'm bouncing all over the place here, but... Yeah, it's just like a local regional BLM kind of group calling for the firing and, you know, defunding of police and all that standard crap. Involved in 3 fatal shootings during a 5-year period. Yeah, I mean, but they're all justified. It's like, wasn't there a time, like, during the good old Gar days, like Andy Griffith days, that may or may not have been 100% real, but maybe in some capacity they kind of were, where a cop shoots 3 fucking criminals and we would celebrate, like, maybe not entirely celebrate, but we would treat him like a fucking, you know, he was like doing his job. He's like cleaning up the streets and busting crime. I can almost guarantee you that these shootings were justified self-defense. And again, not that it should fucking matter, but it's a black cop. But they're still fucking invading his house and fucking with him. During a news conference on Wednesday, November 11th, this is about a month and a half ago, claim was made that Police Chief Barry Weber could fire Mensa right now if he wanted to. Represents the family of Alvin Cole, a 17-year-old shot and killed. Why do they lead with the age every single time? You ever notice that? I'm not the first person to point it out, but they lead with the age every single time. Like a 17-year-old could pose no lethal threat to anybody, you know? Documents, blah, blah, blah. Oh, because he talked to the media. That's why. But anyway.
But there's a
That was a digression.
remedy for that. Another bullet in the back. Souls are bearing another bully like in Black Tact.
Damn.
Black man, white cop, gun cock, pop, pop.
No, dude, come on, man. We know that it's not white cop, black man, and we know, well, first of all, we know that the fucking like unjustified hands up, don't shoot. We know that that's incredibly rare. I mean, I don't need to tell you guys that. You already know that.
But there's a remedy for that. Another bullet in the back. Souls are bearing another bully like in Black Tact. Black man, white cop, gun cock, pop, pop. 2 shots, no thoughts, unarmed, life lost. Cheeks turn, hate cost, or maybe just a shade too dark. We live in a world where the laws are made to be against us. And growing up, we don't know who to trust.
What are the laws that are made to be against us? Brothers and sisters. Exactly. Like, I mean, I don't know, dude. You can't strong-arm rob a fucking convenience store and then attack a cop. What can I tell you? You can't pull guns on police officers. You can't. I mean, those are some pretty racist laws there. I must admit, those are some pretty white supremacist laws right there. Not being able to like steal property, you know, not being able to home invade people. I mean, these are just, you know, white supremacist, Western, male patriarchal norms. But no, like, actually, they are. Anyway.
We tell them to stop and they still go. I didn't know a dead man can be charged in his own murder, you know. Red-handed as the blood spills, black bodies turn to buzzkills. If the people don't acquit him, you know the judge will. And do you...
Man, you killing my buzz, put me in jail for armed robbery, like home invading while on fentanyl and crack or whatever, or Jesus.
Try to tell me times and what they was still? I'm just another black kid in a white world. They trying to wipe my history, white world, dismantling families and killing off the villain.
Aren't they doing like black, like King Arthur or some shit like that, or pretty much black everything that was white before? Like, I think they're doing that right now. I don't know, dude. Being bleak in a white world is pretty fortunate, don't you think? Don't you think that's pretty? I mean, of all places, of all quote unquote worlds one could find themselves in, don't you think the white world is one of the better ones?
We an infection to them white folks and them bullets penicillin. Mass incarceration and incrimination too. The wolves from the hatred have pierced us to the roots. They try to call us thugs and force us from the roost, but all
hold on, I gotta ask. What is mass incarceration? What is that? Can anybody in the chat sound off? What is, you know, well, I have an idea of, because we have a lot of these terms, maybe they're buzz terms, like mass immigration, mass incarceration. I have an idea of how to define mass immigration, right? Like millions of immigrants coming across the American border per year, right? That would be a solid definition of mass immigration. Now, I don't know, what is mass incarceration? Do they think that it's like millions of black folks unjustly being in jail because it's just Ray? That be Ray if they're even in there.
the black ones finally do, but I guess I'm just a shade too dark.
That be Ray, you know what I'm saying?
And just because I'm black and I have a hood on my head, that doesn't mean I'm gonna shoot you dead. Just because I'm black and I wear earbuds, that doesn't automatically mean that I sell drugs. Just because I'm black and I wear Timberland boots, that doesn't automatically mean I'm gonna walk up and shoot.
Fine.
Maybe I'm black, but
I'm still walking across the street.
that doesn't mean that I'm danger. Even though to you, I might be a stranger. I'm tired of all these stereotypes and all this constant hate. Instead of hating, maybe you should just motivate. Why don't you think about my strengths like poetry and maybe even dance? So quick to judge me without giving me a chance. I can do hair, sing, and I have fashion sense. But you're so quick to put down my black excellence. The hate in this world is so sick and needs medicine. But I'm okay, cause I'm dripping in melanin. I can speak with pride and I don't need a crowd. And I'ma say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud.
Woo! Oh boy, you can feel it dropping. Hold on a second. Wait, is that the guy? Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Look. Hey, why would you do that?
Yikes, department.
I knew you would do that. They counted me out. They counted me out. It's stupid to do that. They counted me out. They counted me out. And now you look too bad. They counted me out. They counted me out. Man, why would you do that?
I didn't.
I knew you would do that.
I ain't.
They stupid me do that.
Bruh.
And now you look too bad. I know it's the reason we in this shit. I know I'm a voice for the innocent. They want me back in the pen again. But we resilient militants. Fire Joseph Mensa, why? Cause a kill again. Don't give a fuck what your feelings is. How you gonna tell the original people to leave when you the real immigrant?
No.
Reparations, so show me the dividends. They ain't learned shit.
I disagree, man.
That's why they set fire to the mill again. I am the one who is realer than. We need some answers, so fill us in.
Man, I disagree. We are not the real immigrants, man. That is not true, man. Real immigrants, come on. Well, then isn't everybody an immigrant? I guess, but no, that's not true. It's whoever like founds the nation itself is who, you know, the white man. He doesn't like to hear this, but the white man established the nation that we find ourselves in, and nobody else really. So that's true. So no, we're not immigrants. We established it, and that's the fucking cold reality of the situation.
And I ain't tryna feel ill again. Damn, all power to the people. It's a movement for the streets. Fuck your permitting your permission. It's not a movement for the weak. Yeah, I do this for my G's. And I do this for my C's.
Damn, bro.
Crowd got our fists raised. No justice, no peace. And why would you do that? They counted me out. They counted me out. I knew you would do that. They counted me out. They counted me out. They counted me out.
Chiming in with the all land is stolen. I don't really agree with that premise. I think it's, you know, if land ownership isn't really established yet, then how can you steal it? You know, it's more, what do they say? They say not stolen, conquered, right? That might be the more accurate way of putting it. Like, there's a dispute between who wants to have control over some land, so people are gonna probably have some sort of conflict over it, either peacefully or not so peacefully. And, well, what are we seeing right the fuck now, almost? I really hope it doesn't come to boog type things, but unfortunately, yeah. Why would you do that?
Man, why would you do that? They counted me out. They counted me out. I knew you would do that. Damn. They stupid me do that. Yeah. And now you look too bad.
Damn, bro.
I know you can't take how we doing this. They have how great my influence is. They know who it is, and I'ma do it big. Screaming power to the people like Huey did. And
they're funded, dude. That's what he's telling you to your face. They're well funded.
I don't give a fuck how you view the kid. This is real life, not how the movies is. And if you confuse what the movement is, until we're really free, we can't truly live. Time for them to listen to what we tell them. Another black man shot, but the details slim. No weapon, no record, but they derail him. That's why we in the streets screaming BLM. That's right. I promise y'all that we shall win. Northside, but my niggas on the east tell them. We gotta get justice for D3. Till the youth will die before we fail them. That's right. All power to the people. It's a movement for the streets. Fuck your permit and your permission.
Yikes, man.
For the weak. Yeah, I do this for my G's. And I do this for my C's. Whole crowd got our fists raised. No justice, no peace. Man, why would you do that? They counted me out.
Man, this is kind of fucking agonizing, isn't it? But just because it's like all lies, like people are chiming in, dude, yeah. It's focusing on the exception and ignoring the rule, like leftists do. Yeah, I'm talking over the music, but it's leftists focusing over on the exception rather than the rule, and also misrepresenting a lot of these police interactions. But I remember, like, on the MAGA side, what was it? Gun-toting patriot. Maybe I could find that fucking... Yeah, of course. I wonder if I saw a live version of this. It was... It was, alive. Okay, wait, this is reacting to it. Gun-toting patriot. I saw a live version at some sort of, like, it was a maybe it was like a Turning Point USA adjacent kind of event. Yeah, wait, they really had a rap group performing a mock rally in D.C. Yeah.
Turn it up.
Yeah, I will. Jump. Yo. No, dude. Yeah, no. Okay, so fuck voter fraud, you guys. Like, you want to know why Trump lost the 2020 election? You got your answer right fucking here.
Ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting, Bible reading, God believe in truth. Being American is not a season. Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with.
Yeah.
This for free thinkers only. You ain't got no membership. They bring General Flynn out of jail because he innocent. Brian Rogers Stone, run no that he innocent. We need a king out. Every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory.
All right. Based Blakes. You know, there are based Blakes out there. I will hand it to some of them.
Tell how we know they trying to play us like some dummies. I looked deep into it and I did the math. Why did Obama send money to that Wuhan lab? What is George Soros doing with all of his cash?
Ooh.
Why did China take that horror guy and drop him a bag? Why is there so much propaganda? Funny you ask. How about that Bill Gates vaccine? Sorry, I'll pass.
Well, being pushed by Pfizer. Let's look up who the CEO of Pfizer is. And maybe some of his affiliations. Albert Bourla. But, you know, that's notably absent from the cipher. You know what I mean? Because, of course, it is. God damn it, I have so many fucking tabs open.
Gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot, Bryson Water.
He did mention Soros, but I guess that's like the one they have permission to mention. You know what I mean?
Bible. The cage, cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone, cause the run know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Justice Smollett.
How about literacy laws for voting too? Like, you have to demonstrate. Like, well, Japan has, for instance, like for renting an apartment in Japan, you have to demonstrate pretty much advanced Japanese literacy. What if we did that not only for renting an apartment in America, but also for voting? I mean, hey, just throwing it out there.
Tells how do we know they trying to play us like some dummies.
English, of course, not Japanese.
What they did. I looked deep into it and I did the math. Why did Obama send money to that Wuhan lab? What is George Soros doing with all of his cash? Why they trying to take that Harvard guy and drop him a bag?
Kind of based, but it's like, you know, a lot of conservative stuff is like halfway there. You know, it's like halfsies. It's halfsies. Blake's. Voting worked and they wouldn't allow it. Ma Patriots, Ma Q. Stuck in the paradigm, can't be based. Yeah, you know, that's a good point. I can't stand rap. That's a good point. You know, I've done a podcast before about the subject, but I don't like the fact that it was marketed to, you know, suburban youth. You know what I mean? Yeah, what else can we look at here? What the fuck else can we look at here? MAGA Christmas, dude. No, man. We lost. That's just blackpilling, dude. That's just blackpilling, dude. But yeah, Voat getting shut down. We got gun-toting patriots. We got, you know, the Trump campaign lost. Probably not necessarily entirely because of voter fraud, but that probably did play a huge part. But I think it's also because they neglected their real base, which is, you know, that old guard, waspy middle America that the GOP basically won't touch with a 30-foot pole. So, yeah, no wall. Like, what is it, $500 million for Israel while we get, like, a pittance? Let's look up the fucking, what are people saying about the $600 we're getting? Yeah, I put 600, dude. 600. 6 gorillion. Of course it gives me fucking corporate, or, like, AstroTurf influencers. This is another thing you could riff on forever. Look at how, if you look up any given subject on YouTube, you just get, like, these shills. You know, you get, like, corporate media and shills talking about it. Math doesn't add up.
Congress is expected to officially approve a new relief bill later today. Let us bring in Grace Seegers for more on this. She is a CBS News political reporter because people want to know,
smash that dislike.
Like, what's in this thing and when will I be getting my money? Before that, though,
you don't get shit, bitch.
Relief bill was also connected to a stopgap spending bill. So why did Congress need to sign a stopgap spending bill last night, and what does that mean for the COVID relief bill?
Well, good morning, Anne Marie. Not only is Congress pushing up against a deadline for relief programs expiring and for people really needing aid before the end of the year, but also the government needs to be funded. So there was a government funding deadline of Friday. Congress passed a 2-day stopgap bill to extend the deadline to Sunday. Then, of course, they didn't get things done by Sunday, so they decided, okay, we need one more day. And so they extended government funding to the end of today. Of course, we haven't actually seen the legislative text yet for this $1.4 trillion funding bill. So members of Congress are likely going to be voting on a bill that they haven't even read. And that is in addition to the
that's usually the case,
billion dollar coronavirus relief bill, which again, only the framework has been released and not the legislative text.
It just boggles the mind that this pandemic has been going on for so long, and it's still down to the wire, still down to the...
Anyone using words like pandemic or, you know, who is pro-mask mandate or pro-shutdown is a pedophile.
Point where members
and a communist
are not even going to really know exactly what's in the bill, but they have to vote on it because, you know, they got to do something. So let's look at this bill. State officials are getting a boost in COVID aid for testing, tracing, and distribution, all very important. We also saw the rollout of the second vaccine coming from Moderna. Will this aid be enough to help officials who have been begging the federal government to help them control the spread of the coronavirus?
What the fuck control the spread, dude? How about control the like what? I saw some info. Okay, I take an infographic, like taken second or third hand from a dude on the internet for what you will, but you can look it up for yourself. I mean, tens of millions of small to medium-sized businesses, like people's lives are permanently fucking gone. Like businesses permanently shut down, right? That's people's lives permanently fucked, right? I don't give a shit about the virus itself, dude. Stop the spread. Can kiss my ass, dude. This is blatant propaganda, obviously.
Well, it definitely won't hurt. So state and local governments have been asking for assistance to distribute vaccines to help with taking care of the coronavirus.
The people of color and not old white people.
And yes, the additional several $1 billion will help, especially because it is dedicated to testing, to tracing, to vaccine distribution. But part of the bill that was not included was a provision that was really prioritized by Democrats, which would have been aid specifically dedicated to state and local governments that state and local governments could use as they saw fit.
$600 per person, money for small businesses, indirect funds for states, cities. What's out? Direct aid for state and local governments, lawsuit liability shield for businesses. That's kind of vague. Well, direct aid for state and local governments. Will that be in order to expand or, expand some benefits, or does it just go to like LGBT, global homo kind of creepazoid, BLM, like pandering stuff?
Now, this was a real sticking point in negotiations for the past few months, where Democrats said that they wouldn't move forward on a bill that didn't include direct state and local government funding. Of course, this final bill does not include direct aid for state and local governments, so it seems that they just had to get down to the wire before they agreed to make a compromise on that.
Another area of frustration for many has been aid to small businesses. Were there any concessions made? And I'm hoping that, there were some changes to the policy that would help small businesses fare better than they did with the last bill.
There you
that,
go.
We've done.
Now we're talking.
You've seen several stories, a lot of reporting on how a lot of large corporations ended up benefiting big time from the previous stimulus package, and some smaller businesses got left out.
And this time, they're getting like weapons manufacturers are probably getting fat deals, and yeah, it's all fake and gay. I mean, it really was just one big scheme to fuck over small to medium-sized businesses, like old guard businesses, and any guys that weren't completely shuttered by the shutdowns and the mask mandates. They can send Antifa foot soldiers in there to finish them off, right? That's basically what the plan was, and this was all months before an election. Keep people locked down, keep the mail-in ballots they can fucking manipulate. Yeah, it's very fake and very gay. Your money's fake, your government's fake, it's all subverted. It's pretty gay.
Yeah, so we do see quite a bit of funding dedicated specifically towards assisting small businesses. There was a compromise on behalf of Republicans where liability shields for companies and institutions was a very big priority for Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and eventually he agreed to have that not included in this section, in this portion of relief aid. But on top of that, we're seeing billions of dollars going to the Paycheck Protection Fund, Paycheck Protection Program, which is intended to aid small businesses. And as you mentioned, last time around, a lot of this aid actually went to large corporations. So now we're seeing a specific amount, $12 billion, going to very small businesses specifically, and specifically to minority-owned businesses. So hopefully...
Yeah, what if the anchor was just like, is there any aid for some white businesses? Can you imagine that?
Having that dedication of funds specifically for these small businesses will make a difference.
Why do we need aid for some CBD shop, basically, or honestly, let's be honest, dude, that's what the aid is going to go toward.
We're also seeing about $15 billion go to venues and stages and theaters, which, while they may be larger businesses, could really use the assistance. So we're seeing dedication.
It's going to gay, local. I mean, in my town, it's going toward barcades that, oftentimes serve as breeding grounds for a lot of this Antifa, creepy LGBT, kid touchy kind of stuff. It wouldn't surprise me, if they ever reopen stuff. If some of these local, X-Ray Arcade or the Cactus Club or whatever, it wouldn't surprise me if they start hosting your drag queen story time with kids hour, and that's stuff to keep an eye on. But that's the kind of stuff, dude, at least in my town, the aid is going toward venues like that, and they're all feminist and paused and, support minority-owned businesses. It's people who say that, and I know I say the word bougie like 18 million times on this channel, but people who say that are sheltered as fuck, and they don't realize you live in a city, you don't really have a choice in the matter.
To looking
So it's like, why even suggest
at
that?
the arts in a way that we hadn't seen in the previous bill.
One thing that the president really wanted that's included is direct payments to Americans, stimulus checks. He asked for that over the weekend, or tweeted for it. So that's going to happen, just like it.
Tweeted for it. I think Trump actually both times asked for way more money from, the fat cats, but was shot down. And these smug bitches just have nothing to say. But any guy like tweets like the fact that we allowed them to come anywhere near these positions at all, or vote, or be in the workplace, all of that was a mistake, man.
During the last
Big
stimulus
time.
bill, but there's less money this time around.
So yes, for individuals making under $75,000 per year, last time around under the CARES Act, they got $1,200 in direct payments. This time around, it is only $600 in direct payments. But it's slightly more for dependents, because last time around children got $500 per child. This time around, it's $600 per child or dependent. So,
dude, people like this, speaking of children, these people like this probably make their kids, like, when they have their play dates or whatever, they're probably making their kids sit around with, like, masks on when they sit there and, like, play Nintendo or whatever. Can you imagine just how insane and nightmarish it probably is for, like, a whole bunch of kids right now, like, coming up in this milieu right now? I can only imagine, like, not having the wherewithal, like, not having the wherewithal to, like, process all this stuff the way I do, and you guys probably do. It just must be so surreal.
in some ways, yes, it is half the size, but for families with dependents, it will be slightly more aid.
You know, a lot of experts are saying that this is great, but it's still really just a down payment on the economic recovery that will take months and months and months to happen. Many people have gone without the support that they have needed for many months. They are behind on their rent and other bills. This is most likely the last bill to be passed by Congress on the economy until Joe Biden is sworn in. What does this mean for the incoming Biden administration? What are they going to have to do once they get into office to read?
How is Biden gonna come in and save all the poor people by... He's gonna, like, shut everything down for 3 months, didn't he say? And if he does that, I mean, he better throw me some Biden bucks. But if he does that, what implications does that have for, you know... I don't know. I don't know how shit, you know, currency works, but inflation, deflation, money machine go whir. I mean... that sort of thing.
Direct the
will that cause some sort of, like, depression? Fuck.
Economy.
Buckle up, boys.
I think everyone agrees, on both Republicans and Democrats, that this is not a permanent solution. This is just a temporary solution. Eventually, Congress will have to pick up the issue of state and local aid, of liability shields. In addition, the extra $300 per week on top of unemployment insurance that was included in this new bill, that only lasts for 10 weeks. So there's going to be another bill, probably, that Congress will have to negotiate. And the difficulty for the incoming Biden administration is that no matter who gains control of the Senate, it is going to be a very slim majority. So after Georgia Senate runoffs on January 5th, if Democrats gain control of the Senate, they are going to have a razor-thin majority, which really gives
razor-thin circumcision over the American economy.
Little wiggle room for the Biden administration to implement his priorities. And then on top of that, you have a greatly decreased Democratic majority in the House. So there's going to be a very powerful Republican minority in the House. And that will also complicate things because they will have a big say in what they will not agree to. So with these very tight...
I believe the word that you're looking for is nationalize, Fat Elvis. Yeah. there really is no childhood left, dude. I mean, fuck it, dude. Like, there's no such pro-social society out there. Like, sound off in the chat if you've just sort of, like, lost friends. Not just from, like, being based or whatever, but just from this whole thing. Maybe people are pissed at you that you don't want to support the masks or the shutdowns, or people just, like, disappear. Like, I've experienced all of the above, personally.
Majorities that you're going to see in Congress, I think it'll be difficult for the incoming Biden administration to implement their priorities very smoothly, because there's just going to be a lot of arguing in Congress as usual.
Wait, so yeah, let me try to find some, like, maybe not necessarily sticks, but, like, people like that talking about
Congress is expected to officially approve a new relief bill later today. Bitch? Let us bring in Grace C.
They really don't want me to watch anything else, do they?
Turn it
No. MAGA gang chain. MAGA chain gang. Filter most recent. Is anybody even allowed to talk about the foreign aid to our greatest ally? What's this random dude got to say? What do you got to say, brah?
Congress just passed a $900 billion COVID relief bill for Americans to receive, wait for it, a whopping $600 per adult and $600 per child, $300 in temporary weekly unemployment benefits for...
Yeah, it's just like one big slap in the face. You know, we should be getting like $5 or $6 grand, dude. It should be back payments for all the months that a lot of us have been out of work, or, you know, I think, call me like, snowflake millennial who needs to bootstrap his way out of this. But I think it's kind of unreasonable to expect someone to last a full shift wearing one of those masks, dude. It's bad for their health, you know, blowing their snot back in their own face all day. It's bad for their mental health, because socializing with those, like, Sonya Blade Sub-Zero masks on all day can't possibly be enjoyable. So if you're in, like, a service industry kind of job, it's probably nightmarish. Yeah, listen, boomers, I guess, you know, yeah, you're right, it might be big government, but maybe big government isn't always your enemy. I don't know, maybe something to think about, something to ruminate over. Sometimes it might be, but it might just be because people that don't share your values have subverted your government a long time ago. It might have something to do with the Frankfurt School. Maybe you want to look that up, boomers. Maybe you want to look that up. But anyway, liberal-ish. Yeah, dude. Is he thumbsing up sarcastically? Yeah, she's pretty fucking yeah. Just overall, man. Just overall, shit's kind of gay. Yeah, I wanted to pop on here just real quick and talk about the vote shutting down and whatnot. Also to shout out some of my alt-tech stuff. Follow me on Telegram. You know, you'll find some edgy stuff. Just follow me on Telegram, Durst. I'm also simulcasting on a whole bunch of different platforms. You know, you got your D-Lives. Yeah. You got your D-Lives, you know, you got your bit shoots. You got your minds, you know? I definitely encourage people to follow that stuff. Upvote the stream if you haven't yet. I don't know, maybe I'll go live later at some point, play some, like, I don't know, maybe some Hollow Knight or maybe something slightly older like Fallout 4. I don't know, because the Fallout vibes are kind of where I find my headspace at. Or like fucking Cube is where I find my headspace at. If any of you fucking seen that movie, it's kind of like Cube vibes, dude. But I'll play us out with this.
But honestly, I feel
Subscribe, upvote the stream.
she's so
watching.
And felt so empowered by a movie made in Pino Wood. Instead, I think she's someone's daughter, like a lamb to the slaughter. But honestly, I'd still hit if I could. Conceited with low self-esteem. She's a teenage dream if you hate yourself. Bright-dyed hair and obnoxious clothes, thinks communism is the way to go. She's a whore, a hole, a dime a dozen Jezebel. Low-right mind and SSR eyes, 1,000 yards there for all those guys that you fucked and sucked before you came along. Retarded views on politics, likes to listen to shitty music. She drinks and smokes.
Oh, damn, dude. Incel core, dude.
Girls are dumb. They're so dumb. Girls are dumb. They're not any fun. More deadly than a gun when you fall in love. Girls are dumb. I'm warning you, son. Be careful if you see one. Girls are dumb. Girls are dumb. They're so dumb. Girls are dumb. They're so dumb. Try to think with their head of the one between their legs instead. They don't know what they want. They're more deadly than a gun. Girls are dumb, so don't fall in love. I said girls are dumb, so don't fall in love. Girls are dumb, they're so dumb. Girls are dumb, they're so dumb. Girls are dumb, they're not any fun. More deadly than a gun when you fall in